Hey, welcome back to Zack of All Trades. I'm Zack, and tonight I'm going to be working on putting some legs on this workbench of mine. But before I do that, I need to do something else that is long overdue. When sharpening a handsaw, it's really nice to have a vise in a position that's nice and sturdy and stable. This is not sturdy and stable. Why? Because it's mounted onto a piece of wimpy plywood that's screwed onto the top of a movable workbench. This, on the other hand, is stable. Where are you going, pal? Nowhere. And because I haven't had a good work surface to do it on, I haven't sharpened this saw in so long that I've nearly forgotten how to do it. So rather than try and talk and do this, I'm just going to shut up so I can concentrate on what I'm doing and man, trying to remember how to do it. Good grief, this poor saw is dull. If you guys and gals are looking for a full rundown on a whole saw sharpening job, I can do a couple of things. I will put a link. I'm going to link a couple of different videos down in the description. The saw sharpening vise, the poor man's saw sharpening vise. One of the first, I don't know, I guess the first saw sharpening video that I did. And also, if I can find it easily, I'm going to link to a Paul Sellers video. Paul Sellers is the man when it comes to sharpening saws, at least as far as I'm concerned. And if there's enough interest, if you guys really want to, I can go through it again. I can dive into it and do kind of an updated, here's how to sharpen a saw video if you'd like. So let me know in the comments what you think about that, and we will proceed accordingly. Now, for real, I'm really going to shut up and just sharpen my saw here. And that is why most people have such an unfavorable view of a handsaw. Because most people, myself included, before starting on this journey, most people have never used a sharp handsaw. Miles different than an unsharp handsaw. Anyway, look at this. It's not even built yet. And I get to use my workbench, and it's better than the last one. Ah! So first things first, I'm going to throw the old level on there, see where we're at, and level this guy up so that I can see how long my legs need to be. That is 30 and 7/8 will be the length of the leg. Oh man, this is so cool. Oh, surface to clamp to and everything. So I'm going to show you my patented method for cutting squarely with a handsaw. It's going to start, of course, with scribing a line, square. Now here's what I'm going to do. This is my patented method. I'm going to go ahead and saw this pretty well flat, making sure to follow this line, and I'm not going to go very far down. About that far. Oh man, that saw is nice, sharp. And now, well, man, I've been out of this game for a little while, folks, because it just occurred to me something else that I kind of forgot. I should have marked this thing, scribed this thing all the way around before I got all carried away with it. Let me do that real quick. Alright, here we go. Now I clamp it and cut it off. Let me do... Now if you haven't seen this technique already, let's see if you can see it there. Get it out of the shadow. All right, so we have this little slot here, right? And it is whether or not my saw cut it perfectly straight up and down this way, it is perfectly straight going that direction. So now it's just going to act as a guide for that end of my saw. Now I can watch this other side with my eyeball, but that's going to act as a guide for my saw, and it'll go in the path of least resistance, and it'll go straight down. Watch. Oh, sharp saw is so nice. Okay, how about that? You think that's square? There, let's just take a look, see here. Pretty good and square that way. Let's do it here. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and call that square. Pretty cool, huh? So now I need, what did I need? It's a good thing I wrote it on the window. 30 and 7/8. What do we think? She's square? Oh, she's square. Love it. Now I'm just going to go ahead and measure and cut the other leg. I don't think that you need to see that whole process, but I'm going to measure and cut that other leg, and then we'll come back to figure out whatever's the next part after that. And not that you asked for it, but here's another little freebie tip. These 4x4s that I'm using are from a dismantled pallet, and while pulling the nails out, look at that, pulled the head right off of that nail. Well, it's okay. It's not a game ender. A pair of channel locks. Grab a hold of it. There you go. I had a pretty good handful of ideas as to how to do the legs on this bench, and I wanted to keep a couple of things constant. I want this thing to be so solid that I can jump up and down on it and not be worried about kicking the leg out from underneath it. I wanted it to be simple, but also at the same time I wanted to keep the foldability. I don't know if that really necessarily constitutes portable, but you know what I mean. I wanted to keep it so that I can fold it up easily. And I chewed on that for a while, and I couldn't really come up, seemed like, with the right idea. Let's see, how far back do I need to do that? And then my wife came to the rescue, and she suggested this idea that I'm going to do. I think some of you guys will like this. There's probably somebody that won't, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with the idea. Let's see how well this guy fits, shall we? Oh yeah. And there it is. strong as all get out. Has no troubles whatsoever with my 208 pounds. What do you think about that, huh? So there's a couple of things that somebody will probably ask. Well, I can think of one of them because I asked it myself and I contemplated doing it this way. With the legs, there is, I don't know, one way to do it would have been to go straight back diagonal, down and back with the legs rather than straight down. And the reason why I didn't do that is just basically because of the way that the force works, where I have the legs going straight down here. All the weight is going straight down everywhere. It's going straight down. If I was to go diagonal back here, when you set something on that far edge, granted there is weight going back that direction, but it's also trying to pull out from the top. It's trying to do like that, and I wanted to minimize that since I've got kind of a funky attachment system there on the back. So that's why I just went with simple, sturdy, and I'm pretty confident that I'm not going to be able to accidentally kick that leg out of the way, and I think it'll be just fine. And look at how nicely it all folds up when I need to get it out of the way. What do you think? I think, come on now, I think that's pretty slick. So that's what I've got for you tonight. The next thing on my list of things to do is going to be to strip the paint off of this thing. And I'm counting on you guys for some suggestions. This door has got about, I don't know, I think I counted something like about 6 coats of paint on it. I had this grand idea. Somebody's probably going to throw something at me for this, but I had this grand idea that maybe I could take the paint off with a hand plane. Not so. It doesn't take it off worth a hoot. I don't really want to spend the 12 hours it's going to take to sand the paint off of it. I'm a little leery about doing the chemical paint stripper, although I'll do it if I need to. But I need your suggestion. How would you take off 6 layers of paint like this? I thought maybe even taking out the iron from a hand plane and using it almost as a scraper. I thought maybe I could get some of the paint off that way. But that's what I'm going to leave you with. So I hope that you enjoyed this part of the process. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you did not, you know how it goes. Give it a thumbs down. But I am going to reiterate this. If you give it a thumbs down, please do me a favor. Help me out. Help you out. If you give me a thumbs down, please say so in the comments. Say, hey, thumbs down, and this is why. Because as I've said before, that really helps me to make content that is better for you guys, that is more enjoyable for you guys. So by all means, give it a thumbs down if you need it, but tell me why. Thanks for your time. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Take care.